Kane Darcy, welterweight champion. Sum up your emotions after that one.
Yeah, it's a big fight. This undefeated prospect, this dominated the lightweight division. I wanted a taste, and that's something we definitely did, was give it a fucking tear up, I'll be honest.
And you got to, Matt coming into this fight, he had a lot of hype around him, he was undefeated. You've been in there with him now. What did you make of him?
Look, his record says for himself, and I know it's no easy task. I got a few losses on my record, but I still got it in the end. But he's a high-level talent for a reason.
There was a moment in that fight as well where he landed a head kick and then a few strikes afterwards, and then you landed a takedown. Talk to me about that takedown in that moment, because it looked like that might be the reason why you've got gold over your shoulder tonight.
Well, look, yeah, I tried to push as much as I could. That head kick, I gotta be honest, it was flush. I didn't see it even come in. Alright, a little bit of a buzz, but taking on a shot to get me wobbled, I'll be honest. And that takedown was definitely needed then, though.
And the scorecards, it said split decision, but were you surprised by that? When you got to the end, were you confident?
I knew it was back and forth right throughout. I knew I dropped the first just on silly mistakes. The second one was a clear, dominant position where I stole out that position, done damage. And that third was a toss-up either way towards the end. Both had a good moments, but I think me chasing the finish and making sure the pressure was on is what pinched it for me.
I mean, coming into this fight as well, Richard Shaw mentioned that the winner of this fight is the best amateur in the UK. You looked into our camera at the end as well and asked, are you the best amateur in the UK? So I will ask you this question, are you the best amateur in the UK?
It's got to be. He's 9-0. Oh, who haven't I fought? I've took on anyone that's come on. Last year I was undefeated. This year I'm alright. I know it's only one fight, but undefeated. He's an undefeated prospect. The names on me and his resume speak for itself.
And after your last few fights, they've all been submissions. There was one moment, I believe it was in the third round, it looked tight as hell. I thought he was going to tap, he didn't tap. How confident were you that he was going to?
There was 2 subs in there, which I thought, this is it. With my squeeze, I'm going to put on. And I'll take my hat off to him. He fought till the bitter end to make sure he didn't. And I thought that gun team was super deep, shaky, shouting this deep. And I just seen him push his chin out. And even in that moment, I thought, fair play, because not many men would have done that.
And then you look into your corner as well. You got Richard Shaw, Jack Shaw, Carl Parker. They're all screaming instructions. They are some of the best minds in the game right now. Just how motivating is it to have that corner behind you?
Never better corner. There's no idea. These 3 have been everywhere. Never mind just as coaches, with the people they've coached and where they've been everywhere around the world. So it's a privilege to have all 3 of them.
And like we said, it's been a while since you've gone to a decision. Where does that fight sort of rank for you in terms of like the emotion going through it, what it means to you to actually beat an undefeated prospect like Matt?
It's good to finally go the distance again. Alright, yes, it's lovely to get a finish and it's lovely to say, oh yeah, I stopped him or whatever, but to know I can still do the 3 rounds, still be there in the third and push the pace was good for me to know as well.
I mean, great night for Shaw MMA tonight as well. 3 champions all walking out of here with gold over their shoulders. Just talk to me about the strength of the gym.
From top to bottom, from Bevan's weight all the way up to welterweight, we're the strongest gym in the UK, easily. Just with what we've got, even with our front runners. Even I know Tank's retired, but look at the moves all one's making. And with Brett, with his fight, well, talking about coming back and having fights, we got it all, haven't we?
And realistically, there probably isn't that much more for you to do at amateur. You've had so many fights now. You're probably the most experienced guy that fight on these cards now. Do you see it within this year that you could be going pro, or are you just going to leave it completely up to the coaches?
The talk is to go pro next, unless something comes up that's worth doing, then yes, but I think it's time to make the switch. Otherwise, I don't see many people being left, which I haven't fought, or that it'll be worth fighting.
And have you given any thought at all to, if you do go pro, have you given any thought to where you'd like to fight? Obviously, Levi's very determined to get to Cage Warriors. Have you given any thought to that at all?
The Cage Warriors is the top promotion there at the moment, but look, work your way there. But the PFL is making a massive bounce. This Aries seems like it's doing well as well, so there's a lot of pathways that can take you there, which doesn't mean that you just have to fight locally, that you can get a good push nice and early.
And finally, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to tonight?
As always, yes, it's always going to be my sponsors. It's going to be EA Carpets and Vinyls, Lower Scrum Works, and my newest SFC coach, which I've recently picked up for this camp, and Leon. To be honest, it makes my life easier being able to train as much as I can, and now with SFC on side, hopefully we see a better performance every time.
Kane. Absolute sensational tonight. Best amateur in the UK, and we can't wait to see you back doing whatever you're doing next.
Thank you very much.